Hey everybody, welcome to my booth. I'm pumped for today's feedback session because it's our first non-English speaking sample, so I'm really excited to take a listen to it. This is from Bithy, and the sample's in Bengali. They've mixed this themselves, they've done all the engineering and everything, and so they're looking for any potential points of improvement in that realm. And of course, I unfortunately am not fluent in Bengali, but we'll do what we can. And if you'd like me to review audio of yours just like this, there's a form in the description down below. Fill it out, send me something. There's also coaching on my website if that is more your speed. With that said, let's take a listen.
যে মানুষটা প্রথম আমাকে শিখিয়েছে.
Already, I really like the reverb effect that you've put on here. I think it adds to the atmosphere a lot.
অ আ ক খ বর্ণমালা, তিনি আর কেউ নয়, আমার বাবা. যে মানুষটা প্রথম আমাকে বৃক্ষকে গাছ বলতে শিখিয়েছে, মাটিকে বন্ধু বলতে শিখিয়েছে, গনগনে সূর্যের সামনে একা দাঁড়ানোর কৌশল শিখিয়েছে, কোনো এক নদীর সাথে পরিচয় করে দিয়ে বলেছে, এর নাম মধুমতি, পেরুতে হলে ঢেউয়ের সাথে লড়তে হবে, বুকের ছাতি চওড়া করে ভাসতে হবে, তিনি আর কেউ নয়, আমার বাবা.
Yeah. Okay, so things that I was listening for, the balance between the voiceover and the music, the levels there. I was listening for that, and honestly, I think it sounds, in general, this, I think, sounds really darn good. I was checking the overall loudness. It's really, really nice in terms of how loud it is overall. It's running at about minus 17 dB in the total RMS, I believe, whatever, if that makes sense to you, but it's at a good loudness overall. The balance, I think, between your voiceover and the music is pretty good. There, I think, is an opportunity if you wanted to. I have a video, I made a video about making your own demos, I don't know, a month or two ago now. And I walk through how to do sidechain compression in that. And what that would do is modulate the volume or loudness of the music relative to how loud your voiceover is when you're speaking. The levels don't bother me a whole lot. As I said, I think you've done a really good job mixing this overall. But what that would do is just create a little bit more space when you start speaking. And I think that would be, if that's an effect you want to maybe explore. And there are other things that you can do to carve out more space for your voiceover over the music, like using a little bit of EQ, all of which I talk about in that How to Make a Demo video. So if that's of interest to you, those might be interesting things to try just to further bring out your voiceover over the music. But I think that the balance that you've struck here already is really, really solid. The music and the way you're performing this, again, I'm not fluent in Bengali, but I love the pacing at which you've performed this. And there are different moments where you pick up the pace, slow the pace. Like, this was a notably slow moment. Again, I don't speak Bengali, but...
অ আ ক খ বর্ণমালা.
So there's that slower pace, but then at the end here...
বুকের ছাতি চওড়া করে ভাসতে হবে.
The way you sort of swell through that phrase, I really like the way you've done that. There's different pacing with each of... not each, but there's different pacing within this that I think is really beneficial to the performance. In terms of the ending, this is me being really nitpicky, but the fade out here, Sometimes what I do in my demos is this is just to my ear a slightly abrupt fade out, which again, it doesn't bother me a lot. This is just a suggestion if you wanted to tune it up a bit more. Because this fade out, it just kind of like happens. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll clip the end of a song. So your music bed here, if that is the end, then that's what the end is of that track. But sometimes if there's a really long song, say the song's 3 minutes and you just need this minute-long sample, I'll take the first minute, if this is the first minute that you want to use, and then if there's an ending of a phrase that sounds firmly like the end of it, so I don't have to artificially fade it out, I'll clip the ending and plug that in. And the reason I'm saying that is this does sound like the somewhat ending of a phrase, but it also sounds like it's leading into something else. I believe it's a sitar, but the way that it keeps going as it fades out, it goes da 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 da. And if it was just that, then I'd be like, heck yeah. But there's a sort of echoed version of it behind that. So we hear the main, and then there's another little bit behind it in the back that's very quiet. That leads me subconsciously to believe that this is going to keep going. So if it clipped off there, actually. Yeah, and then if that like echoed off, that last note echoed off and faded, then I'd be like, that's perfect. And it's really just that little tiny echoing string behind that kind of interrupts that for me. So that's, again, me being very nitpicky and thinking about ways that you could potentially dial this up even more. But all in all, Bithy, really solid work with this. I think you've done a really nice job with it. And then in your voiceover, I didn't talk much about that, but I think the reverb that you've put on there really, really helps with the style of performance that you're doing, the sort of pacing here. Very storyteller, and it sounds really nice. And I think the reverb helps you there. Yeah. Really nice work, Bithy. For the rest of you, I hope this was helpful for you. And if you have any questions about this, anything else voiceover related or life related, I don't know, just drop me a line down below. You can shoot me an email on my website. And until the next one of these, be well, everybody. And I'll see you there. Toodles.